So I'm so glad to be here on the Root Slam's Instagram, taking over Instagram Live. Root Slam, what's up? This is truly. I said this when there was, one other person in the thing, but I just want to say this is kind of a dream come true for me because the Root Slam is literally my favorite poetry spot in the world. I could say the country, but I say the world. And one of the reasons the Root Slam is my favorite is because their mission has always been and always will be to create an inclusive and socially just space to promote the artistic growth of their poetry community. And they deliver every single time with all their events.
I'm really, really excited for today, especially because, we are having the illustrious Ebony Stewart come through. As far as what you all should be expecting, what folks can be expecting, I had this little idea where I was like, hey, listen, I'm very curious to know how artists are thinking through the COVID era, right? Like, what are the different things that they're thinking through right now?
Yeah.
And two, I was very present to the fact that a lot of artists had to disrupt basically either their tour, right? What would have been their income. And so I wanted to put together a series where we can still chat with them, see how they're doing, see how they're reflecting on the moment, and see if we can support them in any way, right?
Absolutely.
And then I reached out to you, and you're like, "Listen, I'm ready, baby. Let's do it." And of course, we reached out to Root Slam, and they added an element of, again, intentionality to it that I'm really, really incredibly grateful. As far as what people can be expecting today, a quick rundown, perhaps?
Yes, let's do it. So we're going to start with, actually, before we do anything, I want to give a quick land acknowledgement, which I think is really important because even in a digital platform, right, we know that many people are, especially if you're tuning in on from these United States, you are likely joining us from occupied land. So we do want to take a moment to acknowledge that. We mourn the ongoing genocide of Native peoples, which America was violently founded upon. We recognize that Native peoples and their movements are alive today, and we affirm our continued commitment to supporting Indigenous resistance. If you go to native-land.ca, that's a really helpful resource to see sort of where the land that you're living on, who are the people indigenous to that land.
In addition to the land acknowledgement, I feel like if I could encourage folks to also read on how Indigenous people are experiencing COVID. I mean,
yes,
most folks don't usually have, because of the way marginalization and inequity works, they don't have access to a lot of the resources that we, who are living on occupied land, who are settler colonialists have. So I encourage folks to look at and read about how Indigenous people are experiencing COVID and support any way you can.
Yes, thank you for saying that, Lois. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to give a real quick rundown of the show, and then we were going to have the fabulous, the illustrious, the legendary Ebony Stewart on here in just a minute. But just so what folks can expect is in just a minute, Ebony is going to be joining me, and we're going to have a little time to chat. I'm going to ask her how she's doing in this current moment, just like Lois was saying. She's going to bless us with a poem. We're going to offer some prompts, right? So you get to walk away with both, some exposure to new art and a writing prompt. What? Okay, you're welcome. And then Lois will join me again to close off and say bye to all the lovely people who are joining us today. Anything you want to add, Lois?
No, that's about it.
Amazing.
About it.
Thank you so much.
Actually, I do have something. Y'all, throw these cupcakes in this chat. Y'all
yes. Let's go.
That, okay, the gully.
Yes.
Gully.
Yes. Ebony Stewart, a.k.a. She Will Steal Your Cupcake, a.k.a. Gully Princess, a.k.a. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering this, Ebony. I love you so much. You are literally so formative to me as a poet, and one of my favorite people on the planet.
That's me.
Hello.
I'm there.
Oh, I accidentally flipped my camera. That's what happened.
The camera.
Hi.
What's going on?
It's so good
What's
to
going
see
on?
you.
It's good to see you. Look at you.
No, look at you.
Look at you.
Ooh, it's been so long since I've seen your face. This is really nice.
I know, man. Look, what's going on?
Girl, I'm just out here trying to live my life. And
That's
that
real.
is seemingly more difficult than you would imagine. But tell me about you. How are you doing in this current moment? You were one of the first people that I saw before my eyes go from having like a more typical day job to making the leap of becoming a full-time artist. And I remember it being just one of the most inspiring moments of my life. And I still like have such clear memories of that show you did that was like you kind of inaugurating that whole career switch
I know.
and jump, and it was beautiful. And you know, and now's a hard time, and that sucks. So yeah, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Yeah. Well, first, let me just say thank y'all for deciding to do this, like to just have different artists on and like be Ruslam. You know, I ain't never got to visit Ruslam out there, you know, but that's okay, sugar. When all the stuff let up,
That's right.
we're gonna come out there.
Yes.
I also just want to say before I answer your question of how I'm doing, just give you like some real, you know, I be human all the time.
Right.
And I just want to say, have you ever paid for some shit and then it don't work right? Because that's what's going on right now.
Girl. Yes, been there. Don't want to go back there.
So I done bought this little ring light so I could be cute or whatever. And I don't know how to work the damn tripod thing. Anyways, that's okay, sugar. We gonna get an arm workout by holding our arm up to the thing where it's supposed to be doing it on its own.
Right. And you look fantastic. Okay.
Well, thank you, sugar.
Hello, cheekbones. Okay.
Nah, listen, any moment that I can throw on some eyelashes for y'all is a good day for me.
Okay,
right?
Before you bless us all with your brilliance, your words, your genius, your poetry, people are already asking, how can we support you? How can we pay you? Let's throw that up there right now, your Venmo. That way people, are already ready to start sending you some goodies.
Y'all right. Okay, wait. Now see, let me put it in this thing and y'all can capture it or do what y'all Let's see how we do this here.
Oh yes, okay. Sip got you.
Oh, Sip got it.
Is that your Cash App?
That is my Cash App. It's funny that that's not by coincidence that Sip knows my Cash App. But anyway,
let's keep that up there.
Right?
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So how have I been? Actually it's been wild because I've actually been okay, right? For the most part. Yeah, I made this huge leap into being a full-time artist. And the thing about being a full-time artist is that you're in a different tax bracket. They come for you first on your taxes and everything. So it's been really interesting, but I've been extremely blessed to have a savings and to be in grad school and still trying to figure out how to pay for grad school. And it's been okay. That's what I'll say. It's been okay. I have my ups and my downs, like I'm sure many people do, right?
Right.
I have like really low moments where I'm just like, I am not made for Instagram Live. I'm not made for that. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Though, I appreciate the platform, obviously, right? And it's all love no matter what. But it's hard to go from being in a complete tour and thinking about, okay, you're going to make this amount of money for this month to support you, in the summertime and stuff like that. And to go from, all that stuff is halted. You're not making no money right now. So figure it out, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a little scary. And then also, I've been dealing with a lot of like touch deprivation, right? Like skin hunger, rather. I want to be touched by my person, you know what I mean? And in particular to like almost just about everybody I talk to is partnered up with their someone. Right. And that's really tough. You know, that's really tough for me to not have like some kind of something about that. It made me feel away, child.
Right.
But it's cool. It's been a good learning time for me too, to like relearn my boundaries, relearn what I want, what I don't want, what some things I can do differently. Here's some writing sessions. My agents have been doing a really good job of booking me for virtual stuff, so that's been dope. Yeah, man, you know, like just trying to keep the pen moving and then also resting. Because to be honest with you, if it weren't for this pandemic, I would have just kept going despite myself, to be honest with you. I would have just kept going and been tired. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure I maintain focus, that I keep writing, that I show up for my family in the ways that I wouldn't have been able to before. Right. But yeah, you know, I think I go through my regular stuff that everybody is probably going through at this time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that and being honest with us about where you're at and what it feels like. Your honesty and vulnerability have always been, I think, two of the things that make you so wonderful as both a person and a performer.
Thank you.
That makes me really, like, I feel so close to you, even though we're so far away. Cool. Okay, so we're going to do, well, you're going to do a poem, and then we're going to give some prompts. Do you want to do prompts first and then poem?
Let me do this poem, because I'm only gonna do one poem, and then we can work through the prompts or whatnot. But you know, Adithina, you can drop a poem for us too. I ain't got to hear you do no poem. Just drop a oldie but goodie. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I promise I will call you another time. Just you and me. I'm gonna give you all the poems. But right now, this is all about you. I'm going to turn off the comments so everyone can see you fully. But yes, keep hitting that heart button. Give us all the love. Give Ebony all the love. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so I want to make sure to say this, that this is a piece that on April 1st, one of my mentees passed away. And I said that my mentee became my ancestor on April 1st. And so this is the very first poem that I wrote for 30 for 30, you know, National Poetry Month. And so it's been 30 days since she's passed away. And I realized that we operate or understand grief in so many different ways. So I want to make sure to give a shout out to Sasha the Sauce Antoinette. Here it is. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So praise be a God made in his image. And a spitting image she was, heaven's view, eyes aligned to the sky. The emperor's got a new groove, the Kid B, Lauryn Hill mixed with Tupac, Holy Ghost mixed with the streets. True angels be down to earth and still keep the wings on their feet, always on time, but took her time, the mind of a goddess, follower of God, loyally loving, daughter of a pastor, so it's no wonder she mastered God's test, a genuine genius. And all them ingredients only gonna make for a real one. If Best Dressed was a poem, she could never be outdone, a levitated flow. Small in stature, but still bring that smoke, a gifted drifter. Real thrifters move in silence. Pettyweight bears no bars. The sauce boss with the lion's strength. Ruler of the Uno cards. You ain't gotta know everything she's thinking. Just know baby girl's got heart. She be the church and the hymn. A little bit Nipsey with this hustle. Believe like believers do. Lived in the moment like she was supposed to. A soothsayer that was gonna give you the truth. That's just how prophets move. Unforgettable, bold, and inspirational. Another one the future could never reproduce. How Sasha Ray became the flyest without trying. Forever vibing, a triumphant son. Rest well, sleeping giant. Job well done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I'm so mad that I can't be given, like, I was trying to hold back all my you know, because I was like, oh, I feel to hear Ebony. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Of course. Absolutely.
That was gorgeous. I'm going to turn the comments back on because I'm sure people got a lot of things that they want to say about this.
Cool. And I'm going to get comfortable because my arm's tired, child.
That was gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Real quick
Absolutely.
before we move into the prompts, I did want to address, we got a little question from my co-host, Lois.
Okay.
Lois was wondering if you wanted to share, and this is kind of a switch back to sort of how we're doing this moment in COVID, not to take away from like this, the beauty of this piece and how
Oh, no, you're good.
still living in
You're
this
good.
moment. But Lois was wondering if you wanted to share anything about thoughts on people saying things like, oh, 2020 is ghetto.
Okay. Words and language and how it's used to villainize a people, right? I'm from the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood. So is y'all's beloved Beyonce and Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Al Green. I don't know if you mean that it's ghetto as far as it's bad, you can maybe do something more with your vocabulary. Do you understand that? There are all kinds of synonyms for different things. And I think that people should really, this is a time where you could learn and improve your vocabulary. Yeah. Because I know you don't mean ghetto in that way. I don't
Right.
believe that. I believe that people are trying to find all different kinds of ways to be clever, to be seen, to be understood in a way where it's like, oh, you know, because even before the pandemic, right, people were saying that things were ghetto that weren't actually ghetto. And I think it goes back to like colloquialisms that are taken from different things, and whatever our gospel is and the way that we praise ourselves gets used against us in a lot of ways. And so, you know, you can even go into the queer community and how, you know, that used to be a thing where someone would say that's gay, right? Well, do you really mean that that's gay, right? And so I really try not to pay, and I'm going to say this, and I know that it's hard for us poets, but I'm going to say this to all of us and make sure that we understand. You don't got to entertain everything.
Right.
You don't got to give everything energy.
Right.
And that's okay too, right? You cannot study that and study something different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want to say that truly, from your first answer about how you're doing right now to your poem to this literal like lesson we just all got and needed to hear, I like your graciousness and your brilliance and your like unfuckwitableness has me out here questioning, why did I move from Texas in the first place? I don't listen. What am I doing? And,
look, you got reasons to move from Texas, but you know, every that's another thing, right? Like people have a lot of negative things to say about each state and city and all this kind of stuff, but you know, everybody got something that they ain't doing right, that people don't know what they doing. And I just want to make sure to say that, right? Like we're really hard on each other, and ain't no state just got it all the way figured out.
Absolutely.
Ain't no state got it. But you know what, child? We also gave y'all Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion. Texas gave you, you know what I'm talking about, Erica Badu, and I know they on your playlist.
That's right. Let them know. And on that note, would you like to share a prompt for the people?
Yes. And so we're thinking about grief, and we are especially grieving a way of doing things. We're grieving a routine. We're grieving the loss of a job, or just the way that things are, right?
Yes.
And I come from a family of warriors. Like that's what they was born to do. That's what they know how to do well. And so I've been having to like get really present in myself. And so here's a prompt for you all. I want you to write down 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can do.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go back over that one more time. Write down 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can do. This will help you to stay present in the moment, right? And so once you have all those things, and you're in a spin, right, and you ground yourself or refocus, I want you to write a letter to yourself requesting what needs your patience, what needs your presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to write a letter to yourself requesting your presence, your patience.
Wow.
That's it. That's all I
That's
got.
that's amazing. Thank you for that. That's a beautiful prompt. We have a couple questions from the fans.
Okay, one is here, sure, going.
Okay. So, did I do that right? Oh, yes, I did. Okay.
Child, look at this technology.
Right. I didn't even know. So it says you mentioned having agents with a S. What's your team look like? How y'all support each other?
Oh yeah. So I am with Bass and Schuler. And so they have a team of agents that actually it's three of them, and they break down the country, right, into threes. So you know, they just work it out and try to, like, they all send me emails, by the way.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it should just come from one central person, but
Right.
that's
You
okay. That's
think.
okay, sugar. That's all right. That might be too much, like, right. But yeah, I'm with Bass and Schuler. I just recently got with them. I want to say maybe at the end of last year, I got with them, or the top of this year, whichever one, child. Every day feel like today. So yeah, okay. I saw a question. What degree are you getting, and in what area? Now, I know you're doing your job out of thing, but I
Yes.
can read and talk at the same time sometimes. Um,
Father's birthday, and he keeps trying to call me, is what's happening. I apologize
oh,
for that.
you
I'm
didn't
gonna just
talk to
have
your
my
daddy today?
partner is gonna text him right now and tell him to stop calling me. That's what's gonna. She's on the live. Can you text my dad? Thank you. Okay, go ahead. Finish your. You were saying.
That's so funny to me. Yes, Bass Schuler. Somebody asked Bass Schuler. Yes,
Yeah.
Bass Schuler. You can Google him, sugar.
And then what
But
degree are you
yeah,
getting?
what degree am I
Right.
getting? I'm getting my master's in social work. You
Oh
welcome.
yes. Woo!
Yeah, no, the plan is that I want to be able to I really want to be able to offer affordable therapy specifically to artists, because I
Wow.
think that we are so good at writing. We are
Yeah.
so good at using metaphors and just talking about, you know, what we feel, but in a performance type of way, that I also, you know, think that it would be really good for us to start getting into therapy and seeing a therapist and seeing someone. And sometimes that's hard because it's not affordable, right? Your insurance might not cover it. And so
Yeah.
I want to
Thank you
be
for that.
that outlet if I can.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, we are just about out of time. So I want to say thank you again for truly your genius in so many different ways. We got your
Yeah.
Venmo and your Cash App pinned. Is there anywhere else that we can find your work, follow you, etc.?
Yeah, so I'm Gully Princess on Instagram. Gully is Gully. Princess, ain't no Z's, ain't no underscores. I have Homegirl Hood that's out. If anyone didn't get their question answered, or we missed it, you can always DM me. Be appropriate now, Sugarfoots, because I'll delete your ass. But yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
but
I'm just
you
being
better let me know.
I'm just look, I'm just being serious. But yeah, you can send me a message, DM me. I also have a curriculum that's coming out. Well, that's already done actually, and I would love to talk to some people about getting the curriculum to the youth. And yeah.
Let's talk.
Yes.
All
Aditi,
right.
I love you so much.
I love you so much. This has been amazing. I will call you later so we can have a conversation not in front of a bunch of people. We'll do that. I love you.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting all your needs taken care of as much as you can when you can. Have a lovely
Yeah.
rest of your Thursday.
You too, doll. Love you long time.
Bye. Lois, my love, you want to hop back on here real quick so we can close out together? Hello. What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. Okay, hello. How do you, Lois, you doing okay? Are you floored? Are you okay?
Every time I hear
Life changing, life
every time.
affirming.
My God.
Well, all I gotta say, oh, thank you. Someone said happy belated. It was my birthday this past Saturday. Thank you. Okay, real quick, I just want to make sure everybody heard this. Venmo is at Ebony-Stewart-1. Cash App is Ebony N Stewart. You have no reasons, so you got it. You know what it is. You can go there. You heard the words. Ebony is literally one of the most brilliant, ferocious poets of our time.
So, earlier today, I needed advice from Ebony Stewart, and it ended up being an hour-long conversation of her just giving me gems. And I gave her my copay for mental health services. You know what I mean? It's
right.
as simple as that. If you are blessed, okay, if you are blessed from her work, okay, if there is a poem out there on the interwebs, or she spat it right here, go ahead and drop those dollar bills, y'all.
Right. Okay. Right. One more time. Venmo at Ebony-Stewart-1. Cash App $ Ebony N Stewart. You got it. Go do it. Go buy her book. This has been amazing. Lois and I were both mentored by Ebony Stewart. It is why we are the people we are today, I think.
Facts.
And also, finally, thank you to all of you for being here with us and coming and hanging out for these past 2 weeks. This has been so fun. We love y'all.
For real. Real quick, y'all, I want to, if y'all don't know about Root Slam, definitely go check out the work that they have. They have a workshop this Saturday. Am I right about that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Can somebody mention the chat? Well, you know where y'all can go find out is at the Root Slam. Come on now.
And you clearly know how to get there because you're on the live right now.
Boom. Not this
Saturday.
Last month. But y'all go ahead and go on their IG and find out how else y'all can continue getting involved with this brilliant, brilliant organization and collective of human beings. So,
second and fourth Saturdays.
And fourth Saturdays. So,
amazing.
Y'all go and bless yourselves. Go and bless yourselves. And stay brilliant.
Yes. Love you, Lois. Bye.
Carthy, take care. Bye.